My grandmother never shows up to a party without a tin full of peanut brittle. I'm gonna show you how to make this delicious treat. There is a science to making peanut brittle. It is cheap and it is easy, but it is persnickety. A very important tip when you're making peanut brittle is to have everything you need already measured out and ready to go, because there is no time for dilly-dallying. We're gonna get started by making our syrup with just sugar, a little bit of white corn syrup, and a little bit of salt, and a little bit of water. We're gonna bring this mixture up to a boil, stirring constantly until the sugar dissolves. And at that point, I will add in my peanuts. This does require a little skill and practice. And to be honest, I've only made it less than a handful of times. But you just never know. It has to deal with, the humidity in the room, and all that can make it stickier, or, we want it light and airy at the end. So it's good to make it on a nice, cool, dry day. When it comes to the peanuts, my mom and my grandmother use raw peanuts with the skin on. We think the skin kind of helps darken the color, and we like our peanut brittle to be, really rich in that caramel color, and the skins from the peanuts help that. Once it reaches that boil and the sugar has dissolved, we're gonna stir in the peanuts. This recipe calls for a cup. My mom and my grandmother use 2 cups, so I'm gonna meet them in the middle. We're gonna do 1.5 cups. Also, these are super cheap. The whole bag, which is like 3.5 cups, you can make 2 batches of this for $2. And then we're just gonna stir that in and let it do its thing. This is also the point where if you're using a candy thermometer, you want to put that in as well. Once again, my mom and my grandmother do not use this. They just go by sight and experience, which I'm trying to learn that part. I'll do both. And we're just gonna cook this, stirring constantly. It's gonna take 10 to 15 minutes or so until the temperature reaches between 300 and 310 degrees. I probably go a little on the higher end just to achieve a little more of that rich color. So those raw peanuts are going to get cooked and toasted. You can see the colors getting rich and golden. Once you get to your ideal temperature, we're going to quickly stir in some baking soda and butter, and then lay it out onto a greased baking sheet. Spread it out. This is gonna sit and cool for at least 30 minutes, and then we'll break it up into brittle. Our peanut brittle has been sitting, and now the fun part, time to crack it up. You might look at that and be like, that's not a lot, but watch how many pieces I can turn this into. Just wanna loosen it up. Comes off just in one big sheet, and don't blink, because here it goes. And here's how you know we did it right. If you can look in the inside, you see little pockets of bubbles. That shows you that it's gonna be airy, light, and tender, and that's what we want in a peanut brittle. You don't want it to be like toffee or taffy. It shouldn't, take all your fillings out. To me, there's only one way to serve peanut brittle, and that is in preferably an old used tin, but you can buy new cute ones if you want. Wax paper and peanut brittle. There's just something comforting about opening this little tin and finding a little magic surprise. And we taste. Whether you're making holiday gifts or bringing dessert to a party, peanut brittle is the way to go. And this top-rated recipe is definitely one you'll want to try this year. See you next week. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.